In this game, Higaki took white and Robert took black. Short move. Instead of approaching the corner, just a 2-space extension. All right. No problem. Oh, and here we had a Joseki, and this is an interesting moment of the game. White plays Atari from this side. This is a bit uncommon. I mean, it's a Joseki, but a more common Joseki is the Atari from the other side. Atari from here, and then this. If black extends, white is happy. White is pushing black, and well, black doesn't have a good shape, so black should play this move, aiming at getting such a shape, but then white plays from the other side, and this is a Joseki. And then later probably something around here. Yeah. But it also exists to play from this side and then block. Like this, white can simply capture black's 2 stones. Black now turns, and white should extend. Right now, it's not possible for black to run out with the stones. Also, black shouldn't be able to get enough liberties to win the capturing race against white's group. Even like this, black has 1 liberty less. So yeah, maybe just by playing here, white makes sure that there will be no call, black just dies. Well, losing a capturing race by 1 liberty is not a disaster, it's actually playable for black, but still, probably no point in trying to run with these stones. What black does right now, if black doesn't have a support around here and black cannot crawl on, black plays Atari from the outside and then can push once more, destroying white's shape. So this is another Joseki, also possible way of playing. But in the game, white played in an illogical manner. White connected. And this doesn't make sense. Now black climbs up to the 3rd line. Why do I say that it's illogical, that it doesn't make sense? Because we can imagine what happens if white just extends. Black would certainly then go down and play here. So by a Tewari, we get into a shape which is the same, or in fact even better for white, because white is not forced to make this exchange, which is not necessarily good. Like probably bad. White loses a liberty for no reason. And well, then why didn't white start with this extension? But this would be also bad. The white should first play here and only then extend, because otherwise it's very pleasant for black to get this descent in center. So currently this solid connection is not a good move. This is not a Joseki. Black plays an Atari and goes out, and white will need to make life in the corner. For now it's alright to play on the outside, but probably white cannot keep on doing it. Right now probably white already has not enough liberties to win the capturing race. So now white plays in the corner, and then probably these were not good exchanges. There is this old Chinese proverb which goes, "Don't ride a wounded horse." And this is exactly the proverb about such situations in Go. This proverb is something which I invented a few weeks ago. And you can see a lesson about it in the new upcoming Go Magic course. But what is meant by this? If you need to go back and make life with your group, then playing center exchanges on the outside, which heat up the temperature of the fight on the outside, is only in your opponent's interest and not in your interest. So right now white anyway needs to go back and make life with the group. But then this turn is more powerful than a turn here would have been, because now it's just about 3 stones, and well, they can still run out easily, jump out, and also later white can peep here, peep black, taking away black space. So the fight is better for white now than now. Now, after black plays this move, white's 5 stones, much heavier group, is in danger. And also the group on the other side becomes weaker. So this was not a good idea. Actually, this is probably too much. Black doesn't have a right now to get this Atari in center. Now white can play this move. If black captures, then white first plays a few exchanges and then simply makes life, or calculates the capturing race and maybe even kills black, but not sure about that. Anyway, if white can enclose black in center, then, well, it is worth losing these 2 stones in the corner. But white automatically answered. This is unfortunate. So, you know, like, if black is afraid of that, then black plays this turn first. And then white can consider a move here. But in this position, it doesn't look good for white. White should probably die here. So then white plays this one, and then black can get both in center. So there is this technique of the turn. If the turn is not made, then the next Atari is not completely center. But white didn't realize that. Okay, now white tries to fight the hardest possible way by playing a crosscut, which leaves white with very bad shapes. Maybe black could have attached. Now the cut is not possible. Or if we are afraid, we can also play like this. So this might be easier, not leaving that possibility for the opponent, but this should be still very good for black. Just now we need to make sure that we don't die. Actually, this cut, well, is good if we can capture 5 stones, but by itself, it helps white shape-wise. Maybe better to play like this. Leave white with a bad shape, empty triangle, and fight like this. I think also a good option. In the game, black cuts white stones, and then white runs. If this move doesn't work, and well, it does not, unfortunately, then the strongest move locally should be Hane, which takes away the liberty and puts white in a tighter position. You should play tight in such situations. Now, if white goes here, the ladder works. If white goes here, the net works. So white needs to push. Then black needs to play here. Well, maybe white is not captured, but black gets a stronger position on the outside than in the game, probably. Anyway, black manages to somehow play tight, but then, yeah, white used a beautiful Tesuji here. So if white simply connected, white would not manage to go out. But after this Tesuji, white is connected in center and then runs out. This looks very, very bad for black. White ran out and black's groups are split, and black will need to go back to make life with that group on the top side. And then maybe white has time to play around here, or maybe better to continue on the right side. So suddenly white got a good position because black failed to enclose white. And probably black's mistake was this move. We should have, instead of playing here by ourselves, we should have forced our opponent to force us to play the move which we anyway want to play. This is a common way in Go how to find the Tesuji. So here white found a Tesuji with this crosscut, and then white goes out. The position is good for white, and now white was just too impatient. White should have simply jumped out, and the game is good for white, but white tried to capture black immediately, kill black's group, and then even play this move, which is very painful because we would prefer to play like this. Locally, black is not alive, and we get a beautiful shape on the outside, but white knew that the liberties matter because black might enclose white. But then we shouldn't have started in the first place. First, make sure that you have a lot of liberties, and if now your opponent loses center to live with the group, then you can get really a lot on the outside. This was just too impatient what white played, and now even if even if really white manages to capture black's group, it's not necessarily so great for white because black enclosed white. Black got all this outside influence, which is very valuable. And what white did now was a very, very bad mistake. So white thought that with the crosscut, he decreases the number of black's liberties. But after all these moves are played, black still has 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. And if white didn't play at all, then how many liberties does black have? So let's say white cares about his liberties. An exchange is made and what? 5 liberties, right? 5 liberties. So I don't know, another exchange still is 5 liberties. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the group already had 5 liberties. So this, what white played, is just as good as any other move reducing black's liberties. White could have as well played this and also take away 1 liberty, leave black with 4 liberties. However, it is not a good idea for white now to take away black's liberties because there is a move of black which decreases white's number of liberties in center by 1. So instead white should have connected here and then white wins the capturing race by 1 liberty. But in the game, yeah, white plays there and then black can throw in. Oh, sorry, black can throw in and then white loses the capturing race by 1 liberty. Very terrible. Not to say that white could have thought of trying to get more liberties around here. Maybe it was possible even to win the capturing race in center or something like that. So this was a very bad mistake, not a move not backed by reading. It only looked like it decreases the number of liberties, but in fact didn't change it. And then, yeah, then white is in a terrible position. White should have killed black or should have went out, splitting black's position. And in the end, white simply dies with these cutting stones. So the game is soon over. Then white actually finds a chance. Here, it's possible for white to play like this and get the missing liberty. So to not give that liberty to the opponent, black needs to play like this and that. And then a cost starts. Well, great that white found this technique. But if white found it, there is a chance that the opponent doesn't see it. Otherwise, likely the opponent would have added a move, right? Or yeah, it's possible to just add a move like this, maybe, or I don't know, in some more active manner. Though maybe, yeah, maybe best to take away the liberty. And then, if we have a suspicion that our opponent might not see, let's first prepare to this call. Let's play like this. This move will generate bigger threats. So already this threat will be bigger than the threat which we had in the game. Or maybe we can go a bit further. And I don't know, now the threat is very, very big, right? So only then we started, because the fight there is super important. If we can capture black, it's, well, suddenly we are back in the game, even if we made some bad exchanges. Though, well, still, I need to stress it that the easiest way and the best way for white to play this game was to go out. This would be better than trying to kill the group and giving away the huge influence to the opponent. Anyway, white just jumped out and now started the call, but yeah, it was better to prepare more, to create weaker shapes for black. Like this, white started the call, had one threat. But the threat was anyway answered. Because black also had threats. So now white didn't answer, because white doesn't have further threats, unfortunately. So we should have played in a way which would have given us a couple of threats, not just one. Maybe like this, and then first threat, we answer to the opponent's threat. Second threat, we still want to answer to the opponent's threat. And then where's the third one? We should have thought the plan thoroughly through before starting the call, because this is our chance to come back to the game. We need to have everything in place when we start this unexpected fight. This was not enough. White had only one big threat, and then, well, of course, White gained a lot on the call because ran out with part of the group, but still the game is better for Black. No wonder about that. Interesting. Maybe better to connect, though probably not. So White chooses a peaceful variation, after which Black gets very strong shape on the outside. And yeah, the game should be just better for Black right now. So we made the strike, tried to change how the board looks, but after the fight is finished, we are behind as White, and then how can we continue? We are just losing. Yeah, White tries to reduce Black's influence, makes sense. But then Black played very aggressively, tried to attack all the stones of White. Well, maybe White should have played peacefully here, but the game should be good for Black. So White tried to play also more aggressively, but then Black jumped here and claimed that White's group is dead. I am not sure about that, but yeah, in the game White didn't manage to live. So certainly this is the first move which comes, the first idea which comes to head. Somehow try making ice, maybe now cut, and if Black plays here, then we can certainly create some opportunities for making ice on the side. But White was impatient and cut immediately, which gave Black quite an easy variation, after which, well, Black's group is not going to die and White's group is. So yeah, White managed to find a ko, but it was not enough. The ko was too difficult for White. White got a moderate gain, profit in the corner, but it is not enough since Black got really a lot in the center. So again, impatience of White led White to a very bad mistake. If White plays like this and then manages to live with the group, though still it's a difficult task, but possible, then maybe White can be still, maybe the game can be still playable for White. White has, let's say, 10, 20, 35, 45, maybe up to 50 plus Komi. And Black has 20, 30, 40, well, yeah, 50, a lot of potential. So the game is still better for Black, but maybe playable. But like this, the variation for Black was just too easy. Black found it without any problem and won the game. This is it about this game, and we will move to the next one.